Hey everybody, welcome to the Rational Review. I'm your host LeMay. Stick around to the end of the video. I got some interesting pictures to show you. Let's get into it.
Hi, my name is Jackie. I'm 33 years old. I'm a new grad ER nurse and mom. I'm here to share my story about my divorce in hopes to help somebody that's going through the same thing get through it. I figured before I shared about my actual divorce that I should probably take you back to my childhood. I was born to a 19-year-old single mom. My dad wasn't around, and then he eventually ended up passing away when I was 7. There were a couple men in my childhood that tried to be my dad, but nobody stuck around. Eventually, my mom thought she found the one and finally got married and had 2 more children. But of course, he cheated and left. So I think it's fair to say that I might have had some daddy issues. I grew up in a neighborhood that had tons of kids, and I ended up falling in love very young. I was engaged at 22, married by 24, and had my daughter at 25. I was then divorced at 27. Also, if you are an ER nurse or know anybody that is an ER nurse, you need this sweatshirt. It's so cute. And you know that the ER is freezing. This is it. I linked it below.
Welcome to The Wall. In today's video, we'll see a divorce story where an emergency room nurse tells us about her divorce, how in the end she is becoming a divorce coach. Brother, the story of the business process. We want you to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. We are chasing 150,000 subscribers before the end of the year. We thank those who contribute to the project with their super chat and the comments of their experiences. That is what makes this community grow. Activate notifications so you don't miss any video. Now, let's begin.
Hi, my name is Jackie. I'm 33. I'm a nurse in the ER. And I'm sitting at work about to go in, and I decided that it's time to share my story. The primary goal of sharing my story is to hopefully help somebody that's going through something similar get through it. 5 years ago, I was told by my husband that he loved me, but he wasn't in love with me and he wanted to get a divorce. This is the man that I was with since middle school, and we had a 2.5-year-old daughter. Of course, feeling like this came out of nowhere, I asked why, and he simply said he's never been alone and he wanted to be alone. Now, ladies, you know that feeling in your bones? I had that feeling in my bones that he was not telling the truth. I spent the next couple of weeks trying to figure out what I did wrong and why he wanted to divorce me. Oh,
I can tell you already. Come on. You were always starting fights with them. So, always starting fights with them. You probably weren't having much fun in the bedroom anymore. When you did it like a chore. You know, yeah, I've experienced that before where you're in a relationship, you can tell she doesn't want to be there, and it's like, no, this is done.
girl, did I find out the dirt. All of it. Stick around because it's going to get juicy.
Brothers, Jackie's story tells us a story that seems like a red flag warning manual. Daughter of a single mother who never had a present father, she was raised in an unstable environment, seeing several men pass through her house, all temporary. The paternal figure, which is essential for a girl's emotional and psychological development, was replaced by a revolving door of unfaithful stepfathers. The saying never fails. Those who do not know their history are destined to repeat it. Here we are, seeing how Jackie followed the same pattern. She got married at 24, had a daughter the following year, and by 27 she was already divorced. Her trajectory is a testament to how single mothers, by not showing their daughters a stable model of partner selection, perpetuate a cycle of bad romantic decisions. Oh, and what is even more revealing? She studied nursing, a profession known, according to certain studies, for its high rate of infidelity in relationships. But, as she herself says, there is more story to tell. Let's hear her version of the divorce.
So I don't know what made me think about it, but women just need to start treating men like they're dogs. I mean, don't take that the wrong way. I'm talking about women need to treat men like they're dogs. Think about how women treat dogs. They see a dog. It doesn't matter what it looks like. Oh, it's so cute because it's a dog. They need to look at men that way. Oh, it's so cute and handsome. It's a man. I think women used to be more like that. And then also, you take the dog, you decide to get this dog, take it home, and you're going to love it and do everything you can to make it happy. So, why can't they give that same energy to a relationship? You know what I mean? So that's why I say, why can't women start treating men like dogs? No, he's going to go around and hump other stuff. He's going to do stuff that you don't like. But you're going to just let it go eventually because you're going to, oh, he's so cute and I just love him. I just love him. I love him. And he does stuff and it's not his fault. It's like, come on. You can have a dog, drop one in your bed and you'd be like, oh, it wasn't his fault, or maybe he's just trying to assert himself or something. They make up some excuse, but men, they never make up excuses for, ever. Women, start treating men like dogs. Pretend they're a dog. Adopt them. Take them home. Keep them forever.
Hi, my name is Jackie. I'm a 33-year-old new grad ER nurse, and I'm sharing my divorce story to hopefully help somebody that's going through something similar get through it, because you will.
Women never get
This
tired of
brings
dogs.
me to the year before he told me, I love you, but I'm not in love with you anymore. We were camping seasonally at a campground. We had bought a brand new camper. We had a toddler. Everything was good, decent, normal. 2 years almost of marriage, going through the toddler stage. I was working full time. Things were okay. Not great, but okay. We were home that night,
Wouldn't have had that trouble
and
if you
I
looked at him like a
was laying
dog.
on the couch, and he came into the living room and sat on the chair that the dog was on. And I thought it was funny
And you
that
sure
he
wanted to touch
sat
him
in the
and pet
most
him and
uncomfortable space, but wouldn't come and lay with me on the couch. So I was like, hey, I'm here. You can come snuggle me. And he just then looked at me and said, no, I want a divorce. I love you, but I'm not in love with you. It was literally a moment in my life where time
because it was
stood
always
still.
on your time.
I thought I was in a dream. It was
Even dogs. When you own a dog, ladies, you don't ever think of yourself as in charge of that dog. You never consider yourself superior to that dog. And with women and men, women tend to do that a lot. They tend to think, "Oh, I own him." It's like you don't even do that to your dog or your cat. Why do you do that to the men?
the strangest feeling. It was almost like an out of body experience. And I was like, wait, what? Did I just hear that correctly? He said, yeah, I want a divorce.
Before we can discover in the next video, I will say that being married to police officers, firefighters, or hospital personnel are some of the most stressful marriages there are, where you will spend the least amount of time with your partner. I don't know what the reason is, but I've already been told that this man was tired of this. But let's continue.
Of course, my first question was why, what was going on that I was unaware of. And he just said that he's never been alone and he wanted to be alone. Well, obviously, if you've never been alone, you probably don't want to be alone. I spent the next 24 hours crying. I don't think I ever cried so much in my entire life. I was 27 years old with a 1.5-year-old waitressing. I didn't know how I was going to make it, how my life was going to look like without being married. I was, but ladies, we are capable of anything, and I will show you that over the next couple of videos.
As you surely noticed, the part where all the blame will be on him has not appeared, and we will call him the abuser. She ends up as the victim. What I do see is a man who was clearly unhappy in this relationship. An
Oh, I bet
emergency
it's
room
coming.
nurse works between 8 to 12 hours in rotating shifts, apart from weekends as holidays. I'm not saying this is his case, but I can assure you that this man does not spend much time with this woman,
He was
which leads the
abusive.
man to get tired of this relationship.
It's coming.
But let's continue to see what happened.
If you feed your dog dry food, stop and do this instead. This is raw, unprocessed meat after 1 week. And this is dog kibble after 5 years. Ever wonder what they're putting in it to make it last that long on the shelf? For a while, I didn't know either. And once I did, I knew that stuff should not be in a dog's body. But first, what?
I love you, but I'm not in love with you, and I want a divorce. Hi, my name is Jackie. I'm a 33-year-old new grad ER nurse telling you about my divorce story in hopes to help somebody else that's going through something similar get through it, because you will. To say the next 3 weeks were difficult is an understatement. It was right around the holidays, and I really wanted to make it work up until the holidays. So just for time frame, it was the beginning of November. So I had asked him, I understand that you want to get a divorce. We don't have any reasoning yet, but can we make it work until after the holidays for our daughter? He said yes, and we agreed to stay in the same house until after Christmas and New Year's. But we all know with divorce, things don't go as planned. My mental health was suffering, and with no answers, I was losing my mind. So I ended up moving out on my mom's birthday into her basement and shared the basement with my brother and my daughter. Only a week later did I get a Facebook message from a friend from the campground that we were staying at. He pretty much said, "Hey, we need to talk." So I called him, and he told me, "I spoke to my daughter last night, and she told me that you and your husband are getting a divorce, and her and your husband want to be together and they're in love." Whoa, wait a minute. Stick around, there's more.
Hey, bro. What? Oh my God!
Before anything, I will say that I do not defend infidelity from any side, but the story gets interesting. Apparently at the camping trip where they had gone was where this man met the other woman. Surely from what I can see he was unhappy in the relationship, but clearly cheating is wrong. It gives me some laughter because when women are in the same position, the reason they give you is that she deserves to be happy and that she grieved in the relationship. Apparently this man did the same, but let's continue.
I'll defend infidelity, at least on the man side. I don't know about the woman because I'm not a woman, but the man side, it's simple. I've explained to a couple women that have asked me over the years. It's like, no, you have to find out, like metaphorically speaking, what is this man's like steak and potatoes? As like what is it he wants from the relationship? What is it what he wants from you? And if you give him that every night, if you give him steak every night, he's always going to come home to you. Even if he stops for some fast food, you know, he's still coming home to you because you're the one that's giving him the steak and potatoes. So, regardless, if you want your man to stick around, which you should, men don't think about sex the way women do either. But either way, if a man, depending on the man, I was the kind of man that no, if you gave me my steak and potatoes, no, I'm not looking at other women. I'm done with all other women. You're giving me everything I need. That's enough for me. I'm content. I don't need to go out and get more. I don't need to satisfy my other urges. But either way you look at it, you know, you stop serving him a steak, he's not going to be there no more.
I love you, but I'm not in love with you, and I want a divorce. Hi, my name is Jackie. I'm a 33-year-old new grad
She
ER
stopped
nurse,
sharing.
and I
She
am sharing
stopped
my
making
divorce
his
story in
steak.
hopes to help somebody that's going through the same thing get through it, because you will. How I confronted my husband about his infidelity. So after receiving the phone call from this girl's dad, I then talked to her mother. And then I also talked to her. So I gathered all my ducks in a row before I took the information back to my husband. I was staying at my mom at the time, so I went back to the house to grab a couple things, and I said, I found something that I've been searching for the past couple of weeks. And of course, his face kind of lit up like he thought I was saying something positive. And he said, "Oh, yeah, what was it?" I said, well, I found out the reason why we're getting a divorce is because that you are in love with somebody else." Of course, he denied it. And I told him that I had spoke to her dad. He said he's lying. Then I told him I spoke to her mom. He said, no, she's lying. Then I pulled out my phone and said, but I spoke to her too. And I scrolled through the text messages. At that point, he knew his goose was cooked.
Damn!
I think
No, he was trying to save you pain. That's all he was trying to do. He wasn't trying to purposely lie. He was trying to not hurt you worse than he already did.
that more than missing that moment, he felt true terror. I imagine the gavel of the judge went through his head. How he will lose everything in the divorce. Yes, you separate in a normal way. Let's say, you already lose 50% of all your assets. With infidelity, well, say goodbye to everything, because the judge already sees her as a victim. Now seeing a woman with a daughter, a nurse who was cheated on, brother, this man is really screwed. But for her, in the end, everything has turned out well it seems. She is a divorce coach currently. Let's see the last parts.
After I confronted my husband about his infidelity, I decided that I was going to live a life for me and my daughter. Hi, my name is Jackie. I'm a 33-year-old new grad ER nurse, and I'm here sharing my divorce story in hopes to help somebody that's going through something similar get through it, because you will. I'd say that the next year was the
Wow.
hardest for me.
And that pessimistic.
Not only did I have the feelings of being replaced, I got to actually witness it firsthand. It wasn't very long before he was fully with this girl. So during pickup and drop off, I got to see their relationship flourish. We had been talking about buying houses for years, but in that year before our divorce, we were looking at houses, and one in particular that we really loved, one of our friends owned, and they ended up renting it when they got together. It was a hard time for me. I was living in my mom's basement, waitressing, going to school full time, taking on the entire financial burden of our daughter, but I just kept pushing through. No matter what BS they handed me, I dealt with it.
No child
Because
support?
I knew
Really?
slow and steady would win the race. I went on to get a job in the emergency department, one of the departments that I've been wanting to work at for the longest time. I got accepted into nursing school. I worked through my trauma, and I started living the life that I've always wanted to live.
A few moments
Yeah, you
later.
sound like it.
The feelings that
Sound like
come after divorce or after your partner tells you they don't want to be with you anymore are devastating. It is indescribable. You have all these emotions, feeling like you're not good enough, like you could have done something more. Maybe I could have cooked better. Maybe I could have kept the house cleaner. Maybe I could have smiled more or been less stressed out. I had so many
All you had to do was love them. All you had to do was love them like when you first met. That's all you had to do. All you had to do was love them. Love them like a dog. You know, every time you see him, go up to him, give him hugs and kisses. You know, whenever you're sitting on the couch with them, make sure you're petting them. You know, so yeah, petting might be a metaphor in this situation, but you know, giving him attention. You know, giving him the affection that he needs. You know, that's what you have to do. But you know, I'm willing to bet every man in the world would take a woman that's going to give him proper affection and not be mean to him and mess with his emotions and stuff. The mental stability of that kind of woman over any other kind of woman in the world. You know, whether she's, a baddie or not, it wouldn't matter what they look like. You can give a man two choices, you know, blind blind survey or something, where, oh, would you rather have a woman that does this, or would you rather have a woman that is great in bed, super hot, looks like a model. It's like almost every single guy that is mature enough to understand and has been in relationships, they'd choose the first.
thoughts as to what I could have done to be a better wife and a better mom,
Treat him like a dog.
and why I was being
Treat
replaced
your kids like
by
dogs.
somebody else.
Treat him
And
like a
really, that's
dog.
not the case at all. I know that I am good enough. I know that I am worthy of love. I am worthy of somebody that's going to treat me the right way. And I'm very, very lucky that I found that.
You'll get it if you treat him
Sometimes
like a
these
dog.
things happen to really get you out of a bad spot and put you into some place that you're really supposed to be. I thought that he was my person, but I soon realized he
What?
was not.
Why are you
In the end,
driving while
everyone is
recording?
happy. Now you are a divorce coach and speaker, carrying a positive message with your pain. Because you did not go through a divorce, you were going through a business process. Now you are better than ever, right? It is the same story over and over again. I must say that this man did it wrong in cheating on his partner, but before discovering the deception, he took a step forward with the divorce. He communicated, "I am not happy. I love you, but I do not love you." If she did not discover it, they would divorce without more, but she discovered what he did wrong. But even so, the end was the same, the divorce. He was determined that was going to happen. What he did not tell us is how the assets were divided. She surely kept all the custody, something very normal. Apparently, they did not have a house together. They are of those who rent, a strategy that many men are using today, but she is happy, she says it herself. She can follow the destined path that her mother left her. In the end, brothers, what do you think of this story? We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. What do you think of this divorce story? Apart from the cheating, do you think there was any other reason why he wanted to leave this marriage? If you like the video, I leave you 2 more videos of quite interesting divorce stories that you might like.
Now it's time for them pictures I promised y'all. Look at that. A woman would love that dog. That dog would be treated better than any man. That's a good looking dog too, but not a good looking dog. But wait. Boom. Look at that. How many women in the world are going to be like, oh, he's so cute. I just want to love him and kiss him. Yep. That's right. Even the big ones. Women love even the big ones. You know, come on. You're looking at men like dogs. You'd be loving men just as much as them. Come on now. And the not so great looking guy posing. Women would be looking at this dog. Oh, look at the cutie. And they'd want to pet him and hug him and kiss him. It's just hilarious. All right, y'all. Till next time, I'm out.